Mark Maltsberger is a candidate for County Court at Law number 2. This is a seat that has no incumbent as Roy Brantley is elevated, and he joins us today. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you for having me, Scott.
Uh, Give us some thoughts on what inspired you to run for Brazos County Court at Law 2.
I think it's the next step in service for me. One thing that I have done and one thing that I've prided on myself on, and one thing that my parents raised me to do is make sure that I was in service to the community. I have practiced law for over 25 years now, served as a prosecutor, served as a criminal defense attorney. I've represented folks, all sorts of clients, all sorts of issues all across the state, and am looking, like I said, to take that next step in service and offer myself to the community in that role.
Brazos County Court at Law handles high volume of cases, family matters, custody, divorce, probate, guardianship. What specific steps can you take as a judge to maybe reduce any backlog that is there and move forward?
I've had this experience before dealing with a new judge who came into office when I was a young prosecutor. And what that judge did was he set everything, and he set status hearings on these, and he set cases for trial. And in doing so, he took a docket that had it was in a outlying county. It was a smaller district court, but it moved 370 cases on the docket to 53 between January and July of 2003. So it can happen, and being real careful with docket control, making sure that the civil cases that are pending need to be pending, and place them on a dismissal for warrant of prosecution docket. All those things can be used to help maintain docket control and reduce a backlog.
Have you had an opportunity to see what backlog is, if there is any, in this court right now?
Yes, there are, between the two county courts at law, there's about 2,500. The quickest way to clear it out would be through the criminal docket. It constitutes about 75% of the overall docket for the court.
Brazos County, of course, is home of a large university, growing community. There's some challenges there that I'm sure you have to anticipate involving young adults, misdemeanors, civil cases. So how would you address that to promote justice and rehabilitation wherever appropriate?
Well, of justice, there's three different parts of that I see. There's a punishment aspect in a criminal case. There's a punishment aspect, there's a deterrence aspect, and there's a rehabilitation aspect. When you're talking about young people who find themselves in the criminal justice system, there needs to be a facet of each one of those. Obviously, lots of the college students who come before the court, this is their first time out on the wrong side of the law. They need some guidance, and that can be provided through the community supervision department, through probation. At times, there's a message needs to be sent, and that can be provided through a sentence that provides deterrence to that young person and other similarly situated young people. And sometimes just punishment has to happen, and that's on a case-by-case basis. There needs to be a marrying of those three facets of justice in order to make sure that the young people are being addressed appropriately.
What qualities do you believe are most important for County Court at Law, Brazos County? How do you, with your own personal values, your community involvement, and your legal background, how does that prepare you for this challenge?
I've had an eye towards this job for years, for more than 20 years now. I have tailored my practice over the last 10 years or so towards a county court at law bench, picking up and learning more about probate and guardianship matters. Those are cases where you have someone who is not necessarily, well, the family law, the family law custody, the guardianship, and the mental commitment aspects are all where you have people in front of the court who aren't necessarily there of their own volition. They are there because it's alleged that they require protection from the court. Protection by the court, I guess, is a better way to say it. Because in the instance of somebody that a guardianship is being sought against, they don't have the ability to care for themselves. They can't provide for their activities of daily living. They can't use the resources that they have to take care of their financial situation. All of those people require the protection of the court, and using the court as a avenue for making sure that those protections are happening. That's something that I'm really interested in. That's something that I felt that I am qualified to do, and it's something I look forward to doing.
I find it interesting you say over the last 10 years you have actually tried to put yourself into a position that you have special knowledge that prepares you for this. Give us a little background as to how you, if you will, prepared to be able to run for this job.
Handle every sort of case that shows up in front of on the docket. When you look at these, you look at the criminal misdemeanor cases. Those are cases where the maximum punishment on that is 1 year in county jail. There's no possibility of no criminal misdemeanor that will come in front of the court that has the possibility of time in prison. Your civil matters are generally smaller traffic accidents, consumer debts, personal injury, things like that. Value under $250,000. Probates, where you're dealing with distribution of an estate after somebody's death. Appeals from the JP court, where you're dealing with one of the largest issues with that is the appeals for evictions, because you're dealing with folks' property and their right to determine where they're going to live. We talked a little bit about the family custody and guardianship issues and the mental commitment issues, but as I've seen more what the court requires, I've picked up more and more experience in those different areas of the law, preparing me to step in January 1.
Talk to me about the person you are when you're not on the bench and your involvement in the community.
I'm a father of 4. That's the first place to start right there. I'm a father of 4. My wife and I met here in undergrad in the mid-'90s. She's a nurse here in labor and delivery at Baylor Scott & White. I'm a youth sports coach. I serve on as a trustee on the mental health MHMR authority of Brazos Valley. I spend a lot of time watching Aggie football and baseball, and like to stay plugged into the community, plugged into my church at A&M Methodist Church, United Methodist Church. And I think that gives me a pretty good finger on the pulse of what's happening in the community and kind of what the citizens are expecting out of their courts.
Anything else you'd like to add today?
Well, Scott, there's 3 different issues or 3 different facets of my preparation here today that I wanted to talk about a little bit. I'm qualified, and I'm trusted, and I'm dedicated to serve as a judge of Brazos County Court at Law Number 2. I'm qualified by virtue of 25 years of experience representing clients across the state in all sorts of different matters that appear in front of this court. I'm trusted by my attorney peers to fulfill the role of judge. I have had endorsement of over 50 local Brazos Valley attorneys who are endorsing my campaign. I've been endorsed by the Bryan College Station Regional Association of Realtors, and been recommended by the True Texas Project. I'm dedicated to serving the community that where my wife and I raise our 4 kids. I've been recognized twice by Lone Star Legal Aid for my work on behalf of indigent clients. And I do that to ensure that the fair application of justice for all persons in Brazos County. Best endorsement that I can receive is your vote. Please cast your vote for me in the Republican primary on March 3rd.
That's Mark Maltsberger. Thanks for the time today.
Thank you, Scott.